Friends, you may not be surprised to hear that theology is my favorite thing to talk about. I love reflecting on the revealed mysteries of the Bible and the ways we as the church have wrestled with how to think and speak of God in light of His Word. I love connecting the dots between what the Bible teaches, what we believe, and how we should live in light of it. I love learning about and delighting in God. In sharing my passion for theology over the years, I've experienced two very interesting things I want to share with you. First, all Christians possess this theological passion to some degree or another. And second, when we discover that we do in fact enjoy theology, nearly every one of us is surprised. Let's talk about being surprised about theology first. I believe one of the big tragedies of the modern church is that we've largely relegated theology to the professionals. Of course, I'm into theology. I have training and degrees. I'm the editor of the must-read magazine for thinking Christians. But my wife, who does marketing for a flower farm, or my friend at church who's a software engineer, no one expects them to be experts in a field that they're not professionally trained in. Now, don't get me wrong. Skilled theologians are vital for the health of the church, and the calling to be a dedicated professional theologian is a worthy and valuable one. But we run into real dangers when we reduce theology to specialized doctrinal training that happens within the walls of a classroom or between the covers of a textbook. As soon as we reduce theology to technical information, we start to think of it in terms of head knowledge versus heart knowledge, which is the false choice modern Reformation's tackling in our March-April issue. Many of us have stopped thinking of Bible study and discipleship as inherently theological. We've started believing that theology is a topic mostly reserved for believers who are extra smart or extra zealous or extra geeky. We treat theology as an optional add-on that a person might be into or not depending on personality and interests. Is it any wonder that so many Christians today have the impression that studying the Bible and learning to think through and apply our faith is vital, while theology is technical, abstract, narrow, plain old boring? In fact, we sometimes suspect that being interested in theology may even be harmful. A specialized discipline not particularly well suited for the life of the church or for personal spiritual growth sounds way too much like Paul's warning against acquiring knowledge that puffs up rather than love that builds up. That brings me to the second interesting thing I want to share with you about my experiences with theology. Though many have been surprised to discover it, I've seen time and again through discipleship groups and Sunday school classes and personal relationships that Christians in general actually do enjoy theology. More than enjoy it, we thrive on it. Remember how I just described what I love about theology: interpreting the Bible, applying it to our lives, growing in our knowledge of God in Christ. Christians by definition love all these things. None of them requires technical expertise or special training beyond what's readily available to every committed disciple in every healthy church. Correct doctrinal information is an essential part of theology, but it's only one part of it. True knowledge in the biblical sense of the term is always personal, involving not just our thinking but our desires and our feelings too. If I want to know my wife, I have to learn a lot about her, yes. But real knowledge requires spending time with her, listening to her, trusting her, giving myself to her, being committed to her. The same is true in knowing God. And I can't say which truth is more astonishing: that we are able to enjoy the privilege of knowing the Almighty so intimately in Jesus, or that our God is so committed to us that He has freely and fully given Himself to be known by sinners like us. What I can say with confidence is that knowing God in Christ and seeing all things in His light isn't the exclusive possession of the privileged few. Theology is a gift God has given all of us because He has given us Himself. That's something we should all love talking about.